Okay, done talking to my friend. Also got my charging cord, so I'm not going to run out of battery while I'm in the middle of this. So let's get back into taking a little bit of a more deep dive into this, where I was actually starting to show some of the things I'm looking for when doing a gesture drawing. Not only that, but going back in and showing, like, if we start to take a little bit more of a more detailed look at what we're doing. Um, let's see here. Yep. So some of the things to take note of. A little bit more of the musculature. Frankly, I'm cheating. I think this whole thing could move over just a smidge. The wonderful part about working digitally is that I don't have to erase that and draw it all over again. Something that I drew well, it's just not quite in the correct placement, I can correct on the fly. Okay, well, let's see here. Looking for those angles, looking for those bumps. Now, going in and refining all this stuff is only possible because of what I was able to do in that first 2 minutes. If my gesture drawing had been off and a mess, then going in and tightening this up would have also been a mess. That gesture drawing is your foundation. It's everything. Everything you do, it's like the base, it's like the foundation of the house, you know? Everything you do beyond that is going to work or not work based on how well or not well that gesture drawing is. If your gesture drawing is a mess, everything you build on top of it is going to be a mess. If you did your gesture drawing well, and it's nice and solid, then everything you build on top of it should be pretty nice and solid. I hate working so close to the edge. That's something I have to get used to with these. All right. One thing you should take note of, not only do I draw the torso first and then the limbs, I haven't even drawn the head yet. And the head, for all intents and purposes, is another limb. It comes off the torso just like the arms and the legs come off the torso. So what the head can do or can't do is dependent on what the torso is doing. Just like just like the arms and legs. What the arms and legs can and can't do is completely dependent on what the torso is doing. And unless I'm drawing a close-up headshot that just has the head and maybe a little bit of shoulders, in which case I do draw the head first. Unless that's what I'm drawing, I always draw the head last. Head last, because even though the head is the first thing you look at, the head and the hands are the most important thing. That's our go-to thing. And yes, maybe they are the most important, but if you don't have everything else right, then no matter how good your head and hands are, if everything else is weak, then your head and hands, well, I don't know. They're only going to get you so far. So why not get everything else right first? And then add good head and hands to a great underdrawing, to a great rest of the gesture drawing. Don't just learn how to do head and hands and then have everything else be subpar. So it comes up a little bit above the hands. Chin is about top of the shoulder height. Face is a little off to one side. I might bring the chin down a tad. Might come a little, come on. You can see this side more, because I think this face should be just a teeny bit more off to the side. It's funny too, because the eyes are just about even, but they might be slightly above the horizon line. It's hard to tell. Yeah, they're just above, actually, because you can tell because the ears start at the eye and are mostly below it. Also because the bottoms of the ears kind of stick out almost more than the tops of the ears. You can definitely tell you're looking up at a head if the bottoms of the ears start to stick out more than the tops of the ears. I made his neck a little thicker than it actually is. Trying to get a little super heroic here. All right. So I'll give the slight indication of his cap here. So we've kind of turned this into maybe a 10-minute thing, going in and giving a little bit more detail. Maybe some people could do this in 5 minutes, but I'm slow. I've always been very slow and deliberate. But all of this has been for what really constitute a very plain and simple gesture drawing. In the next one, I'll do something a little more interesting. But there you go. There is a very rough start. Hopefully I'll say things of more importance in the next one.